Oh gosh, thank you and welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry I look like a dog poo. But it's been a rough past couple days. Or week, shall I say. I'm putting my contact lenses in really quickly. I apologize if that grosses you out. So look away. That used to kind of irk me when I would see people put their fingers in their eyeballs, and that was weird. But now I'm like totally used to it because I do it all the time. It doesn't bother me. Oh my god, I'm freaking out right now. I'm shaking. Well, I'm shaking because my sugars are low. Okay. So basically everything that I've had issue with the past couple days has just been taken care of. Almost. Buddy's sleeping. House is at the VA. And sorry. I'm trying to get cleaned up because I'm gonna go to, well, I have to pick up my daughter from school, but that's not till later. I'm gonna go to, see, there's nothing here. See how it reacts to like actual hair. Okay. Let me find a hair. I have a wiry one like right around here somewhere. It'll find it. Can't find it. Just one. There's like one around here somewhere. There. Got it. Anyway, freaking the shelter has my cat. Has my daughter's cat. The shelter has Pudgy. Isn't that awesome? Pudgy has been found. This morning. I'm not gonna cry. This morning when it was time to get her ready for school, she was like, "Where's Pudgy?" Again. And I'm like, I don't know, baby. Like maybe he maybe he went up to the canyon and he's hanging out with the wildcats or something. Or maybe he is I don't know, I kept coming up with like excuses. Or like maybe a family saw him and thought he was like homeless and like picked him up. I don't know, like I kept coming up with ideas of like things that sounded like not as sad as like, oh, he's dead. Do you know what I mean? And then she's like, I have a feeling he's dead. I'm like, no, you don't, you know, you never know. You don't say that, you know. You know, cats come and go. You know, sometimes they'll be gone for weeks at a time. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, really. And so then that kind of made her feel better. I know, me too. So the like luckily he has all the shots and everything because like this would be an expensive endeavor. You know what I mean, to go get him because they're like, does he have his shots? I'm like, yeah, of course he does. And his tags and everything. I'm like, yeah, of course, you know, because we're on top of all of that for our whenever I have animals, like that's just part of being an owner of an animal. And so because you would have to have all that done in order to pick up your animal, which would be like hundreds of dollars, and like if you have those things done. And luckily we do. So I just have to go pick him up. But they close at 3:30. My daughter's school gets out at 3. And so I'm thinking when Buddy wakes up, we'll just head to the shelter and pick him up before she gets home from school. So that way when she comes home, she'll be like, oh my gosh, Pudgy's here. It'll be like a surprise. And then, but Buddy's still sleeping. He's been sleeping for 2 hours now. Sometimes he'll sleep for 3, actually. Like he goes through his little growth spurts where he'll sleep like 3 hours. Or just depends. Like then he goes through times where he won't even nap. You know what I mean? But he's going through that time where he like sleeps. So I'm just trying to like get ready real quick before he wakes up. Hi Marcos. Local animal shelter, it's over $100 to get your animal back. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Well, it's because you need to have all your immunizations. You have to have all your you have to have them. You have to have their yearly their tag, you know. We already have all that. So oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. Oh my god, Pudgy, he's been gone all since Friday. Yeah, rabies, everything. It's expensive to have an animal, dude. It's freaking highly expensive. And so I'm like, I'm glad we have all those things for him. So that way we're not having to pay out of pocket right now, because it's towards the end of the month. Like we don't have that. You know what I mean? Like if that was the case, we'd be like, oh. Oh. You know what I mean? We'd be like, yeah, we're gonna have to wait till the 1st. And then we probably have to pay for his boarding for another couple days or whatever. You know what I mean? Or we can use a credit card, which we're trying not to use our credit cards. Like, legit, like they're locked away. They don't exist. Like we can't use them. But that's one good thing that's happened today. So, and then on another note, remember how I was freaking out about my babies and the vaccines and everything? It turns out where I live, in my state where I live, which I'm not going to share, even though you guys already know. I don't care. My state has a personal, like, okay, you know how there's religious exemptions for shots? My state has a personal exemption. No, don't come here flocking, please. Stay where you at. Stay where you at. Please stay where you at. It's getting too crowded here anyway. So that like totally like I mean, I'm already vaccinated, but I'm just saying, like, for my kids, I can be like, us personally as parents don't feel it's necessary. Because that shot was a doozy. That shot was a doozy. And the thing is like, I don't think, like, that's just, I mean, it was rough on me. I can't imagine how it would be on a child. Like, I can't even think about that. I'm not going to no more. Because I have the ability to say, it's my personal choice. Here, where I live. So that's pretty cool. I found that out yesterday. And then, Pudgy's home. He's gonna be home. Do you realize how, like, great this is, you guys? Like, oh my gosh. Freaking out. I'm just like, how everything goes from, like, crappy to good within 24 hours. How does that happen? Oh, and they said they just got him today. So he's been out and about, running amok, doing God knows what, all weekend. Or maybe a family took care of him all weekend and they're like, okay, the shelter doesn't open until Monday. Do you know what I mean? But like, if you ever find a cat, you guys, don't just assume that it doesn't have an owner. Always, always, always take it to the shelter and make sure that they're not chipped before you just assume, like, oh, I'm gonna keep it, you know? So I was afraid that like a family, because he's very friendly and he's such a love bug and he's so like, I don't know how to explain it, like, he's pudgy. Like, if you've seen him, you understand his cuteness, right? I mean, his cuteness is equivalent to his annoyingness, too, by the way, I will state that. Doesn't mean I love him any less. It just, he's deaf and he's special needs, and so it takes a certain kind of family to be able to, like, deal with him. Which I'm sure the family that held him over the weekend found that out. And they're like, here. Just take the fucking thing. But, I'm afraid of letting him out now. But I have to find a collar I need to find a sturdy collar. Can anyone recommend me like a really good, I mean, I still have to look on Amazon, but if you can recommend me like a sturdy collar for cats that don't just come off, because every collar I've put on this guy comes off. Just comes off. I don't know what he gets himself into, but it just comes off. And someone was nice enough to send me a tracker for him. And those things are really expensive, and I don't feel comfortable with putting a device on him that is expensive just for him to like have it fall off. So I need to find a really good heavy duty collar for Pudgy, because that way I can just see where he's at and be like, okay, and then go to that house and be like, hey, you have my cat, you know, or go to the field wherever he is, or dumpster, you know, and like find him and be like, get the F out of there, Pudgy. I don't know what cats do. Many a times I've wanted to put a GoPro on him, but that shit would get stolen. You know that. So I'm super happy right now. I learned a lot of good stuff just this past 24 hours, and I'm just so elated and I'm so happy. And I want to thank you guys for like being here for me, like genuinely being here for me. Like, it made a huge difference in just my head going this way to that way. You know what I mean? You guys made a huge difference. Like the comments, the support, the love, the prayers for Pudgy. Even your guys' like commentation on like the political aspects of what I was talking about helped too. Or like biblical aspects of what I was talking about helped. I appreciate everyone. You know, I appreciate all of you. And I'm lucky to have you guys, even just if you're listening or whatever, like, you're just, thank you. Sorry, Daniel Kobe. And with this one, I have a feeling this is going to happen again and again and again, because he's just so adamant about being outside, about going all the time. And it's like, bro, you can't keep doing that. That's why I feel like if I get this collar, I get this tracker on, like, it'll be good. At least I'll know where he's at and I can go get him. You know what I mean? And thank you to that person who sent that to me. And I'm sorry I didn't get it on sooner. I just needed to get something. I needed to be able to have a better collar. Be careful with collars. that don't come off, get hung on something, stuck. Well, if he got stuck, then I could see where his location is, though. Because I have a tracker. So I'd be like, oh, are you stuck? Oh, look at this bush you're stuck in. Oh, let me go get you. Pudgy. You guys, I'm so happy. I look tired because I am very tired. My daughter woke up at 4. She was up at 4. And she was looking for Pudgy. And she was crying about her pencil case because she lost it. And I know it wasn't about her pencil case. And I'm like, are you sure that's why you're crying? And she's like, yes. I'm like, okay. You know, like, I wanted her to be able to cry about what she was really crying about, you know? I'm like, it's okay if you're crying about Pudge, you know? She's like, I'm not. I'm like, okay. She always tries to be really super strong. She's a lot like me. Even though I may not seem very strong. I hold back quite a bit. So, yeah, it takes a lot. But, I want her to know that, like, it's okay to cry about, you know, losing your kitty cat. Like, it's not a big deal. It's okay. So I was comforting her a lot this morning. But she's gonna be elated when she comes home and her cat's home. Like, this is a big fucking deal. So I have to change, put my hair up, and yeah, oh gosh, that's a good point too, Danielle. See, like, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. But the thing is I want to be able to track him. My husband's like, what about a full body harness? I'm like, that's way worse than just a collar. What are you talking about? He gets so stuck in that. Yep, it's been a few years. We're still traumatized. Yeah, and that's why he's chipped. Like, if he gets like the shelter, like, yeah, he's here. You know, they knew it was him. Oh, that's a good idea, Colby. I should. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I'll probably cry more than her. I'm such a baby. I let my husband know. I'm like, he's at the shelter. He's like, okay. I'm like, aren't you like elated right now? I think he kind of was hoping he was gonna come back. I'm kidding. Because I mean, he is really a lot. He's a lot. He's a deaf cat. He's special needs, and it's a lot to handle. Because he's just he's it's a lot, you know. But I mean, no other family is going to take him in. I just know that. So we're rescuing our deaf kitty for the second time, and I feel good and I'm happy, and I'm thankful to all of you for keeping my hopes up. Thank you. You have no idea how much you help. You have no idea. Anyways, thank you. I love you. Stay positive, even though it's really hard sometimes, and I will catch up with you guys soon.